What a journey it has been. I remember sitting here a year ago, launching the version 3 of the asset management best practice guidelines. We had so many discussions, and finishing the conference, I had the idea that we need both core services represented in some sort of best practice guidelines. So I pitched the idea to Matteo, Paolo, and Konstantinos. I cannot see Konstantinos here. And I'm extremely proud to say that after a year of hard work, a lot of collaboration, which is a testament of what the industry can do when we come together, we have now produced the first version of the asset management best practice guidelines of the Solar Power Europe, which is the first document of its kind. And I will tell you why I think it is important to standardize, but me being me, I will be going a bit off script. And I want to start with something which has been, a reoccurring, if you would like, event on every discussion and every conference we had. So I'm going to be discussing about two things. I'm going to be discussing about three key points of the service industry that needs to be seriously considered. And I will present then the chapters of the asset management. And I think the most interesting thing will be the follow-up panel with the esteemed guests we have. So I will try not to take too much of your time on that. But I think as an industry, we really need a therapist. We really need a therapist. Again and again and again, for years and years and years, we've been discussing about prices. And I have to say thank you to Lara Haim from Bloomberg. Lara, I'm going to steal a bit of your thunder. I have a couple of slides from your report, but I'm going to be very fast, so I won't go into details. But 13% down since 2017 drop in prices. 78% down on service prices since 2011. So where is the bottom? When are we going to learn as an industry not to compete on price? And this is something that we discuss again and again and again in conferences. But it seems that we don't learn. So my question is, do we really need a therapist? 7.7K per megawatt per annum is the average price in Europe. You would be lucky to get the prices in the UK. 3.4K on asset management per megawatt per annum. Yeah? My latest tender prices on full scope asset management, both on the technical side and the commercial side, were down at £1,500. And this is not something to say about the investors. The investors are doing what they have to say, but what they have to do, they have to take care of their own interests. But it demonstrates the downward trend that we have as an industry. Now, the important thing is that 80% of this cost, according to Bloomberg and Lara, is in labor. But I see a big problem here. First of all, we don't treat our people right. One of the best awarding companies in the UK on the services sector are divesting from O&M. So something is going wrong. We are overworking our people, we don't treat them right, and we pay them peanuts in order to be able to be competitive as an industry. But there is a big problem here. The skills that we have as a sector are transferable. An electrician is an electrician. It doesn't matter if he works on a solar park or he works in the construction industry. So as soon as you press his salary, you press his income to a level that the construction industry becomes, a more lucrative alternative, she will leave. I'm looking at Steve here. A window cleaner is a window cleaner. Yeah? And you can train him to become a solar panel cleaner, and that's exactly what you've been doing excellent. But as soon as the prices are at that low level, Steve's guys or ladies that he has in his employment can go back to do window cleaning. And that's something that we're not seriously thinking about. We're losing talent that we've paid thousands and thousands of pounds to train. We're losing experience. And so transferable skills and the service value is unelastic. The third point I would like to make here is about data. Everybody's talking about data, and I'm really glad that Solar Power Europe have adapted to my diagrams there, Martin. But my key question here is, yes, we know that we need to go into a data-driven decision-making, absolutely. And we know that the service providers are going to, pay part of it to stay competitive. But my key question is, do we have the funds as service providers to pay for that innovation, to pay for the data-driven revolution, or you can call it whatever you want, by ourselves? Who is going to pay for that? Moving forward into an unsubsidized environment, the reaction time that we need to have will be completely different. The penalties that we're going to incur in our contracts are going to be completely different. So basically, we are asking from the service providers to up their game, to lower the price, and at the same time invest in innovative new solutions and train their people on how to use it. Do you see something wrong in this equation? So we believe in Solar Power Europe, and I think this was a common line for all the participants and everybody who contributed with knowledge and time, that we need to do something to help the industry standardize. And this is why we've created the Asset Management Best Practice Guidelines, which is an accompanying document or a document on its own to the O&M Best Practice Guidelines. So why do we need standardization? We have, first of all, more mature investors. The investors know what they want, and they can articulate what they want better. But also we have entry to the market of the big utility companies and oil and gas companies. We have globalization and consolidation of solar investment portfolio. Here, companies like BayWa, Lightsource BP, they're now discussing and managing global portfolios. Even in Greensolver, we have 1.7 gigawatts, global portfolios. We very recently went to Greece with 400 megawatts. So we're looking at a different game, a more global game, outside the localized market that perhaps we've been used to operate in recent years. Rising service quality expectation. We just discussed about it. Everybody wants to go bigger. Everybody wants to have more quality. They have, expectations on ISO 55 standards and other quality assurance systems. There is a constant need from the investors to develop and improve their bottom line. And we had last year the asset optimization. We don't need to go into detail, but everybody here is aware of how to improve the bottom line. But also we have aging assets. And one of the, if you would like, advantages that we have, especially in my current company, in Greensolver, is that we look at assets both in wind and solar. And we see that the trends that we follow in solar are following actually wind. So there might be a 5-7 year delay, but we're going to face exactly the same issues, exactly the same problems with spare parts, with aging communication systems and SCADA systems, with issues that have been there from since the construction. We've been building parks in the north with specs from the south. So now you go, a 1-year-old plant or a 5-year-old plant, and everything is rusted because we've built it based on Spanish specs in the UK. Price pressure, which is apparent, and we've already talked about it. And finally, this big transition to subsidy-free environment. So for us, these are the 7 main reasons why we felt it's necessary to provide further standardization with the asset management best practice guidelines. So once again, this is a document. It's been a collective work from so many different companies and people. And I have to say that I'm so proud that I had the opportunity to to delegate with so many different people to see what kind of expertise we have in the sector. So it's a win. It's a win for everybody to have such documents and with such a wider acceptance. So it is inspired by the O&M best practice guidelines. So a lot of we've tried to mirror somehow the situation between O&M and asset management, or keep some sort of a consistency. As I said, it's been a result of intensive work over the years, and thank you, Mate, thank you very much for all the coordination and all the support you gave to everyone. We've had more than 30 experts with over 20 companies contributing to that. And this is going to be a live document. So maybe I am, maybe I won't be next year in this position as a vice chair. Somebody else is going to pick it up, and you're going to have the next round of people that they're going to add to this document, make it better, make it bigger. So the intention here is to provide the first version. The intention here is to provide the first standard. So it's down to all of us now to improve this document and make it more detailed. And after 4 versions of the O&M best practice guidelines, I think now we have an extremely detailed tool. It's not even a document, it's a tool. I won't keep you any much longer. We have 11 different chapters. You all have the opportunity to download this and go through the chapters. The chapters mirror somehow, as I said, the chapters we have in the O&M, especially the chapter on technical asset management. It's the same, I think, in both documents. So an improved version of that chapter in the O&M best practice guidelines. And I will leave you with a bit of a heretic question, I think. Can the solar industry, given the current prices, continue down the same path with clear separation of O&M and asset management? Or do we need to start bringing the whole thing together, mirror what others are doing in other industries? We have communication, facilities management, and start unifying the two. And we already have trends like this, perhaps, with owners, operators. But that's a question for you to answer. And perhaps we need a different business model if we're not going to do anything about the biggest problem we have, which is pricing. So once again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to see you all here, and I look forward for the discussions to follow.